Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
We have first Connor. So without further ado, we will start with Connor now. And I'm recording this to see if maybe this will be the one that he uses for the competition. I just figured this out.
Yeah.
It's too many devices going on. Oh,
Stephanie, you're messing with us.
it's too much. I added the camera. Well, all right.
Good, and when I was making mistakes, I was thinking, right?
Right. Jared, what are you going to play first?
You want to just finish the Schubert?
Sure. From last time.
Yes.
That sounds great.
All right. Plug in my microphone. All right, you ready?
So Schubert Impromptu number 3.
That's right. I'm going to mute my speaker so I don't hear you, but you should be able to hear me.
You want to test a little bit first? Good. Oh, that sounds gorgeous. Holy smokes.
I tuned it today.
It's fabulous. Wow, that was so beautiful.
Thank you. That was fun to play.
Yeah, really, really nice. I'm curious, did you use the unicorda in those two spots?
I used it in like 5 or 6 spots. I positioned myself to make sure I had my foot on the pedal. And
Ah,
I also just in the last week, I started pulling the damper up a lot more, like almost 2 or 3 times the bar, if I can, a little bit, just to make it a little bit clearer.
right, right, right. I think it sounds absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Really, really.
Well, I'll sit with it.
Yeah. So I have a question for our listeners. What kind of event would you love to hear this piece? Is this something you would like to hear at a wedding, at a funeral, while you're having dinner, in a concert?
I could hear it in a beautiful concert when you're just relaxed in the evening, and it was beautiful and
Very beautiful.
beautiful,
Very beautiful.
very calming.
I still have some of my notes from last time. And there was the challenge in this is there's so much of this shaping of the musical phrases. So much of the musical phrases are shaped within a pianissimo. And I think that's what makes this piece very, very difficult. And I love the parts where you were going to bring in the bass and those trills and the ornamentations to show that disturbance. And I felt really pulled in and drawn in those places. And then when it released and we came back to everything being well again, I was feeling that for sure, for sure.
And I also tried, I don't know, I guess it's okay, but I tried playing a little bit more with the rubato and slowing down to give the dynamics, because sometimes there's only so much you could do in the context of what there is. So I figured you slow it, if it's a descending line, you slow it a little bit just to give a little bit of that, deceleration to it.
Ah, so that's what it was. Very good. Very good. Is there anything you want to try again, Jared?
I have to listen to it, but no, I'm happy with it, honestly.
I am too. Should we call it a day with that one?
Let's call it a good enough.
All right. Are you ready with um the Schumann?
Let's do it.
Yeah, Jared's idea with the Schumann, he thought the kids would love this. I think so too. Did you
Depends
figure
how.
out? Did you figure out, Jared, whether we worked on this when you were in high school?
No, I worked on it freshman year of college. That's when I started. Like my first semester, freshman year of college is when I started. But I knew of it before then. But we did. I think I worked on it based on the dates here. I worked on it my first semester of college.
Excellent, excellent. Do you want to say anything about the piece?
Well, I just say I remember hearing it for the first time and someone playing it when I was maybe 15 or 16. And I remember very specifically, I still have that memory in my head, just being thrilled by it. There was something about it that was like so thrilling. Um, I don't know, it's dramatic, it's got, but there's something, I think there's something intrinsic in this one particular that draws people in. I don't know. There's something about this one.
Yes, it's translated as soaring,
Yeah.
like soaring in the sky.
Are you ready?
Yes.
My microphone. All right, here we go.
Thank you. I remember when I worked on that myself, it's so difficult. This piece is.
It is, that's why I wanted to play it because, some of the parts I kind of just faked my way through over the years until the last year I finally, because I worked on these exercises, I finally could, actually play more of the notes and not feel like I'm just fumbling through it.
Well, that certainly did not sound fumbled through.
No, I've worked hard on it. I've worked hard on it.
Very, very well practiced. Very clean. Very, very good. I wanted to hear a couple of places again. Let's start. Well, let's start at the beginning. Okay. If you could just give me the first 8 measures.
Got it.
Okay, great. And we'll talk about that. That's the theme, and I'd like to work on that with you a little bit.
Let's do it.
Okay. Big contrast between the first part and the second part, the question and the answer. When you played it the first time, your first 4 bars I thought were too stormy. And this time it was a little more in the direction that I was going to comment on, which was to somehow play it lighter and more fun, with a little bit more sense of fun.
You got to leave room for later. You can't give it all away in the beginning.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
In the bottom octaves, with the 3 C's that come in, that part, I would just keep that really light. And like you said, save some of this for later. And maybe not a pedal there on that second full measure. Be really, really careful on the pedal when you're starting it, the first time you're playing the theme. I like the contrast where you went into the bum bum ba-da-dum. That part was fine. Can we try it again? And let's take it down to the double bar key change. Okay?
Got it.
All right. And this all is within forte, but would like to keep it light, so we think that this is what it's all going to be about.
Got it.
All right, good. Again, with those octaves, when you have those octaves, they're coming in too much.
Yeah, all right, let me try again.
Okay, try it again. Just barely tap them. Don't put any weight on those. Yeah, that was better, especially the second time when you went through. I think you could slow down a little bit more.
Yeah.
The Allegarda. Do you have that? Do you have that written in the bar before the key change?
What's that?
Do you have retard or Allegarda?
No, nothing.
Oh, you can do it there.
Is it, actually, so it's funny. It has, I have the Henley, but it has a 3-star which says retardando and autograph, but I don't know why they didn't put it in here.
Where is that in the Henley? What bar?
Bar 14.
But yeah, so go ahead and do it there. In mine, it's a measure after, which is fine. Either one is good, I think.
Got it.
And then out tempo at the key change. So let's do it one more time so you get used to this. And we'll take it down to the next double bar.
So to
Through 24. How about through 24?
got it.
All righty. All right, good. I like that opening. See, I could really feel the difference the first time. Da 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 ba 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 da. I could feel the difference between the first and the second time, which made the line longer, which made that whole phrase, first phrase section longer. Okay, let's move on to the next part. And at measure 31, do you have retardando there? It's part of a crescendo bar. Do you have a retardando?
I do.
You could do more. I think you could do a bit more. And then 33, 34, 35, 36. I was wondering, what is this when you were playing it? I wasn't sure. Did you know what you're trying to say there? Or, or what you were trying to do technically or dynamically?
I mean, it's a more dramatic, recap of the beginning. It's up an octave. No, it's not up an octave, is it? But it's just. The bass has the longest. So it's just the difference from the beginning is the added bass octave emphasis. So I guess it's again this whole piece is just crescendo after crescendo after crescendo. So I guess just give it a little more oomph. But I don't have a coherent explanation.
Why don't we, instead of having two crescendo there, why don't we just make one longer one? So you have the retardando, and when does it say a tempo? In my part, it doesn't say a tempo till 40. So do you have that in yours?
It doesn't say a tempo ever, but I guess it's assumed.
All right. Well, we could retardando and just do as you feel, but in 33, 34, 35, 36, that part, let's try to make the line just a little longer, a little less vertical, and a little bit more longer, because the left hand has its chromatic and it has its octaves, and it's going to do the job for you. I think in terms of the tumultuous anxiety or whatever it is that Robert Schumann is saying here. He puts that in a lot in this piece.
Got it. Where do you want me to take it from?
How about 25 or 24? Oh yeah, right on. That was exactly what I was hoping to hear.
Oh, good.
All right, wonderful. And the Tricchio passage coming up when we do the next key change. that was good. That was good. Okay. Oh, here we go. All right. Um, at 72, it measures 72.
Yeah, I
I
think there's.
made a few. I
I
made a
think you
few
can play
notes.
with the tempo here. I think you can play with the. It's not written
Gotta get my
for play
volume
with.
up. You
Oh.
said you do have crescendos there?
I do, and I said I think you can play with the tempo too a little bit.
You can. You can. There is, in just those 8 bars, I have a poco rallentando, I have an odd tempo, and that happens twice.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
I'm concerned about, what I was concerned about was those accents.
Okay.
The sforzando, the SF. So starting in 72, I have one, 2 bars later, two, 3 bars later, there's an RF, same thing. Another one, third one, 2 bars after that, 79, a fourth one, and then 81, a fifth one.
I don't have any of those.
Do you have accents?
I have a sforzando in 71, in 75, and in 79, and that's it.
Okay. Either way, whatever edition you have, I was needing to know, when is that last one? Where are we going to? Where is the cookie? Where is the reward here? Where is the thing that we want? Usually it's the last one.
So I have an accent at 83.
At 83. I would put it the measure before where you have, unless, at 83, do you have the eighth notes, or do you have, what do you have at 83?
That's the.
I, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's the cookie. That's where we're going.
Yeah.
All right, good. You want to try somewhere around there, and then take it all the way through the tranquillo to the beginning of the tranquillo, which is at
Sure.
84.
You want me to start it at I want to say like the middle of 67. We'll start there. I
Oh,
think that is that right?
that would be great.
All right. I did for you
Well,
there.
well, good. You just made a change after the part we just talked about. You just made a change I was going to ask for.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that now that whole section sounds longer, and I feel more like we've arrived when we get to that point. A tempo tranquillo, where you're having the dotted quarter notes in the right hand tied over sometimes. That had a more quiet sound this time.
Yeah.
It sounded a bit calmer. It needs to sound calm.
We have to balance the frenzy.
Yes. Oh, he's like changes the mood so fast. And then when you have the dotted half notes, Mysterioso, this time you played the left hand a little bit more on the tops of the keys. For me, the first time it sounded a little bit too articulated. I wanted it
Oh,
more, I was thinking more murky. When something is mysterious, we don't want to articulate too much. And this time it sounded like you were on top of the keys and hitting them in a way that it did sound more murky.
all right.
Do you want to try something else technically and try that part again and see if we could get it a little bit more mysterious?
I'm just so proud that I could hit the notes. This is
You
the
want to?
part that I used to fudge this part before because it was it's you need you know you need good left hand strength.
Yeah.
All right, we can try it again.
Where do you want to start? Do you want to start at 85?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. I'm muting now. All right, that was gorgeous. That was gorgeous. That little section, when we come back to the recap, so it sounds like the beginning, I think you need to be louder 2 measures before, the one before when we arrive.
Yeah.
That will help your build-up. The rest of the build-up was great. You did it with the left hand. Bring it in with the right hand. Around 110. I think I've numbered my measures wrong. I'm about 1 bar off from you.
No, but that's right.
Yes. So you want to take a few?
I'm playing the left hand with flatter fingers. That's what I was doing. I'm lowering my wrist a bit.
Yeah, yes, that made a big difference.
No.
That made a big difference. So you want to take a deep breath and play this one more time all the way through?
Sure, we can do
And
that.
take a moment, just kind of thumb through what we were just talking about. Play with that theme. Is it going to be lighter? Is it going to be stormy? And to what degrees? I'm sure that while you're playing it through this time, you might add a few little variations.
Never know what's going to come out.
Yeah, and I think that last one, that last one's got, I think, needs to be explosive. In my part, it's the only double forte.
Like 147? Or 151? 151, yeah?
Yeah, 151?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, I'm talking about around 115.
Ah, yeah. Also double forte.
I'm thinking of that. You know, at the end, though, I think we want to take a little breath. Dun 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 dun. Just a slight breath there. You want to try that right now?
The breath between the 2 phrases, like the...
Yes.
Okay. So you want me to take it 147?
Yeah, let's try. Yes, let's try that. Okay, all right, that's good. We got softer when it was supposed to go double forte. So let's do it again and make the first 4 measures, I guess, bring it down a little bit. Or just I think when you come up on the answering phrase with the C octave, it needs to be louder.
I think it's hard because there's more notes in the first phrase, so it's hard, you have to balance it.
Let's try. Why don't we just say for right now, dun 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 dun. Why don't we just say for this moment, okay, we've said this so many times. We don't not need to make a deal, make a thing of it right now. And make the thing be ba da da ba da 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 ba dum. Make that more of the deal, more of the emphasis there.
Got it.
First 4 measures is reminding people we talked about this before. And then, but this is what I've always been trying to say. Through this whole thing, I finally figured it out. And let that be what we're saying in the last four measures. Yeah, that's closer. One more time, just play it, I would say mezzo forte instead of. Nice, very nice. So we do a final final run through, and then we'll call it a day.
Sounds good. See what happens.
We'll see what happens. Oh, is that exciting?
That was fun.
That was very exciting. It's interesting, Jared. Sometimes when we take the little sections and work on them, it seems to come all together for you when it all comes, when you're supposed to put all the pieces together.
Yeah, it's sometimes easier as a whole rather than just picking apart the individual components. But then when, it all just sort of flows.
For you, it does. For you, it does. I found in my experience many times I'll work with somebody on a little section and we'll get it really good. We'll work on this, and And then they do the whole thing, and it's the whole, then nothing happened. But you're able to do this. It's so unusual about you as a performer, is that you're able to simulate all this and then do it right on the spot.
I've also been playing this thing for 20 years, so.
That was really exciting.
That's what I love about this piece. It's an exciting piece. Every time I play it, it's exciting. It doesn't get boring.
Yeah. Yeah, that was gorgeous. Thank you for working that up again.
Yeah, sure. That was fun.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for the coaching.
Anybody else want to make any comments or going, gone? So we're going to close now. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you to my performers. And we'll see you in about a month.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.